rounds about this topic of recession and the layoffs that are happening in the tech domain, right?
Hmm.
So what
Hmm.
is your view on it, and how does it impact maybe a student who's watching, right? He's watching all our tech
Absolutely.
YouTubers creating videos on recession is coming kind of thing, and hiring freezes from AWS and all that stuff. This is being visible right around it. People are
Hmm.
talking on LinkedIn. So what's your view on it, and how do you think, how is this a long phase, it'll be a shorter phase, or what do you think?
So again, I'll give you my opinion, but this is a topic where again I'm not the best person, most informed person to give you
Right.
the best opinion. But again, I'll tell you from I have also done my set of research, right? So I can
Correct.
talk to you about that. So I think there is a shift in the macroeconomic factors to some extent, and people are looking at and expecting that there will be a couple of years where the markets won't pick up as expected, right? And particularly growth stage companies are people who are looking at at raising maybe $200 million, $300 million. They're already very, very big, right? So companies at the growth stage, or really big listed companies which are there in the market right now, right?
Right.
So I think that is a place where there is a higher impact, because the costs which they bear, everything is much, much higher, and a lot of their sort of economic factors vary according to how the market will value them and everything around it, right? From a student point of view, I don't think you need to think a lot around this and worry a lot about this. I'll give you a few reasons for it, right? Number one, even if a recession is coming, so what? What will you do? What do people do in recessions? What do you think people do in recessions? They don't just sit back home, right? That okay, there is not going to be any job. We are not going to do anything, right? What takes people out of recession, right? What takes people to do really well in recessions? There'll be slightly lesser jobs, so the better people will do even better. Simple, right? So if you are skilled enough, and you think there is a recession coming, you should maybe try to be better than that, right? Maybe try and be in the top 3%, top 5% of the entire job pool which is available, right?
Right.
That should be your approach. That is how you should be thinking. Second, if you look at it, I'm still a very, very strong believer that software as a market is like barely scratching the surface, and tons and tons of software jobs will get created in the near future. And that is what not just me, but like bigger players like maybe GitHub also says the same, right? So if you go ahead and read reports, read a lot of reports and stats. So
Right.
so GitHub also says the same, that they're looking at almost 3x the number by in the next 3 years, right? Uh, so I think these 2 points should sort of clarify it for you. And if you want
Right.
anecdotal pointers, I can tell you there is a company which hired through us last month itself, did a drive with us. They told us we are going to hire 1,000 people this year, right?
Yeah.
So there are enough companies who are still hiring at full swing. At AccioJob, the number of recruiters who have been coming in, we haven't seen a dip in those. Some companies who were
Correct.
our hiring partners have told that, okay, we'll come back after a couple of months, right?
Right.
Which is entirely fair. But then there are other tons of companies who are still hiring continuously. There are, I think, yesterday I checked the placement dashboard of internally, so I could see that there are 27 ongoing recruitment drives live at that yesterday itself, right? So
Right.
I don't see a dip in the number of students getting hired, and we are working at a smaller scale. So again, I'm not the best person to comment on macroeconomic factors. Again, maybe some renowned economists would be in a better position to it. But as a student, your mindset should be simple. That was, if I fear recession, let me work double hard and make sure I'm not just in the top 10%, I'm in the top 5% pool, right?
Correct.
You're surely going to get a job. Trust me on that. We are hiring at
Right.
AccioJob. We just hired our first student, in AccioJob itself. So yeah.
That's nice, Yash. And I think it's a very pivotal point that you made, that even in reception, or actually in such scenarios, upskilling is even more important. In fact, in other
Absolutely.
times, you could have laid back and stayed with your skills and may have survived that recession or maybe the
Yeah.
layoffs. But today, if you're not
Right.
upskilling, you're anyways in that range of people getting laid off, right? So it's the most
Exactly.
important time to really upskill yourself, right? So as we already discussed that AccioJob has gone ahead with placing so many students, or more than 3,000 students, and I think from the previous batches and structures, there have been a lot of courses that you have introduced that, as you pointed out initially. So I'd like to actually go on to the both the programs. It's just that if you combine with the right enabler, I'm sure you will get maybe 5 years ahead quickly in your career, right? If you go by your own methods and ways, you might not land up to the ranges where today people are getting placed. So if you like this video, then definitely share it with your friends, comment your thoughts, because I have seen a lot of AccioJob students also commenting on our videos and replying to some of the students, yeah, that okay, if you have a doubt, ask us here. So I think the community is growing. This is what I saw from, I mean, especially our videos as well, that a lot of people are commenting that who are from students, right? They are telling them, okay, you can ask me your experiences and stuff like that. So do comment your thoughts, like this video, share it with your friends. If you find anything that is still not clear on your mind, put your comments, and I'm sure a lot of students as well as from our side, if we can comment your replies, we will do that. And thank you so much for joining in.